Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. And in today's video, it's actually getting really cold. Happy St. Patrick's Day once again. It's a cold, wet, miserable day here in Ireland. I've got my dressing gown on to just warm up a bit. But yeah, we're taking a look at this path of the Clover event. I've already figured this out. So I've gone through it, guys. So as you can see, actually straight up, really nice one this time where all of the branching paths are opening up properly. That did actually catch us out on a previous Heroes Path event where there were branching paths that did not actually work the way that it showed that they do. Looks like this time is fine. It's good. So yeah, we're going to break down the ideal ways to go. I've put the whole thing here into a nice Photoshop document so we can go through and I can tell you about which path I think is best and which way to go, how much it's going to cost you, how to do it, etc., etc. Let's dive in. So the first thing, I mean, if we just glance through it, you can see from in-game the way that I have decided to go here. And I think it's pretty straightforward. I think this green path is basically the way that you want to go if you want to grab this Eternal Soul Stone, all right? So we're going to go down the left-hand side. I think the left-hand side is a bit better than the right-hand side. I think the bigger coins are a bit better value than the silver coins here. I prefer some gems, some core hammers, to be honest. The rare tome is quite nice to get. It's very similar path the whole way down. And as you can see, once you get down this far to these anniversary points right here, you can swap over. You could swap over and grab these anniversary points, or you can just swap over and skip these anniversary points and go for the blue shard if you want to. You want to go to the other side. That is definitely an option you can have. For me, I'm going to go for I have gone for the Epic Tome, and I'm going to be going for the Eternal Soul Stone. This is pretty expensive, honestly, at 30,000 points. That is a lot of points. Definitely is a ton of points, but Eternal Soul Stones are very rare in this game so far. So for me, late game player, this is definitely something I value highly. You might decide instead to actually skip this, not go for this, and to go for a different path instead. The cost, by the way, for this green path is going to cost you 43,200 points. You can see that most of that is the 30,000 for the Eternal Soul Stone. This yellow path here that I'm going to add on is this, right? So instead of going down to the Eternal Soul Stone, or as an option after you've gone for that, you can come down here and grab the Legendary Skill Tome. It's sort of up to you. Which do you value more, the 200 coins or the 6-star Legendary Chaos Ore? I actually think they're both pretty good, so you could go for whichever one you want. I've gone for the cheapest total option here. And I also put this in, the alternative yellow path, guys. So what is the alternative yellow path? That's if we go down the green path to the Ancient Shard, but then instead of going for Epic Tome for 4,000 kind of sucks. And then if you're not going to go for the Eternal Soul Stone, if we go down this way instead and we grab this and this, it would cost you 26,700 points, which for the rewards that you're going to get is actually not too bad, right? For a Legendary Skill Tome, it's actually pretty reasonable, and it could be something worthwhile going for if you want to go grab it. What other paths do we have? I've got the teal path here, which is the way I'm going to go afterwards. So after I've done this, I'm going to go down this hand side, grab the anniversary points because I want them, the shard, this and this. You can skip these anniversary points if you don't care about the anniversary points. It's really up to you. It depends how far you are in this Titan event. So I'm about 62,500 points in. So I'm kind of figuring, actually, if I grab all the anniversary points from this Heroes Path, there's still 3 weeks left. There's a pretty good chance I could finish this out. I think that'd be kind of fun. So that's something that I am going for. But you might easily skip it if you want, right? You might skip these anniversary points. The teal path, if we add that stuff on, is 22,000. You can see it is actually quite expensive. You could cut off 2,500 if you skip this, but it's a good few points for this Legendary Skill Tome. It's going to cost you a lot to do everything. By the way, if you wanted to do absolutely everything here, which I don't recommend, it would cost you 120,500 of these coins, which is a heck of a lot. I'll break down how to get the coins as well. What I've put in next then are blue paths. And the blue paths would cost you 21,400. These for me are like the kind of nice optional things that I'd quite like to grab. And I probably will try to grab, maybe even over going for this teal path myself. So I think this avatar, it's an avatar for Shamrock. That's pretty fun. It's totally optional, right? It's 2,000 points. But that's something that I would like to get, so I almost definitely will grab that. I think the 6-star Chaos Ore is pretty good. The Void Shard is quite expensive, but you might want to grab it. For me, oh, these texts are kind of blocking it if I turn those off for a minute. I'm actually going to grab these anniversary points up at the top. They're quite cheap, honestly, for quite a few anniversary points. So if you're going for the Titan event, I think these are pretty worth grabbing. And then finally, I've put these in as the red path. These are the things I would definitely be skipping. There's no way I'm going for them. So like 100k silver is terrible. A few gems is terrible. This Chaos Ore is really not worth it. Again, the Epic Skill Tome, this XP boost are really bad. Would not go for those. I'd skip these Core Hammers and the Silver as well, because you can just cut across this path either here or here. So I would be skipping these things. And like, again, there's a total cost here of 120,000 coins, which is an absolute ton. So I don't think that you could really afford it. These bits I'm skipping are only 16,400. So there's still plenty. You're gonna have, it's a massive grind if you want to get all this stuff. It's just, you know, it's not something you're really going to do. Now, how do we get these coins? Well, you get the coins from either leveling and ranking up champions or getting artifacts or accessories. So basically champion training or dungeon divers. What I did here, I've got a very ugly spreadsheet. Let me make that full screen and zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. I did a very, very ugly spreadsheet just to break down some of the basics here. So these are the drop rates for Hard Spider 10. I did a video earlier today, in fact, on how you can farm Hard Spider 10 in 10 seconds right now. So is that any good? Well, if we factor in the drop rates and how many Clover coins you get, I said for 100 runs of Spider, 100 runs of Hard Spider 10, you're probably going to get about 3,310 coins, which is a lot. If you want to max this out just with dungeon divers alone, you skip the champion training, you'd be talking about, you'd have to do this many times. You'd have to do it 36 times, 100 runs, 36 times, 3,600 runs. With 3,600 runs of Hard Spider, you would get approximately, these are rough numbers, I wasn't completely accurate here, but rough numbers, you would get the 120,000 coins. It would cost you 72,000 energy, which is 540 energy refills, or 21,000 gems. In other words, Dungeon Divers is kind of rubbish for doing this event. It's not really the way to do it. It can get you some, like if you're going to be farming Spider anyway, you're going to pick up some coins pretty easily. I did put this in because we of course have Ice Golem does start tomorrow, which is overlapping this event, right? Ice Golem kicks in. And if you're going for the fusion, you're going to be going for this Ice Golem tournament. You're going to pick up some coins from doing that. So it's about 19 tournament points per run, or about 38 tournament points per super raid run. So you're going to do approximately 120 normal runs or approximately 60 super raids in Ice Golem. That would be hard 10. If you go down to stage 25, it would be more runs. I think if you go down to stage 20, it'd be slightly less runs because it's a bit more efficient, I think. No, it'd be slightly more, but you'd use less energy. It'd be more runs, but less energy. But anyway, for the expected 2,250 points, I think roughly speaking, you're going to get maybe 3,900 if you're doing Ice Golem Hard 10. You might get, I don't know, I get rough numbers, maybe 3,000 Clover coins from doing it on stage 20, maybe 3,500 for stage 25, something like that. So let's rough ball it low, but let's say roughly 3,000 coins is what you're going to get for doing your Ice Golem tournament if you're doing the fragment, which for the purpose of completing this path of Clover is really not a lot, but it's a few extra that you will have to throw in there. But as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of coins already. How did I do that? Really, the place to get this is through leveling up food in campaign, right? Leveling up champions, ranking up champions. That's where you're going to get the most points. And yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good deal. I think roughly speaking, if you compare it to a champion training tournament, I think roughly speaking, you get about double the points in this as you do for champion training. So if you want to put it sort of in context, if you half the point requirements for each of these and imagine it's a regular champion training tournament, like that is roughly what you're looking at. So on the whole, actually, I think it ends up being pretty decent value if you're able to afford to do champion training. We do, of course, have another champion training coming as part of the fusion, which you might need to do. if you've finished all of the summon rush and you've finished all of the champion chase as well, and you've done everything else, you might be able to skip that final champion training tournament in the fusion and the final dungeon divers. So it might be okay to actually burn some energy right now. Again, check out my fusion guide if you want to see more about that and figure out which events for the fusion you will actually need to do. But you might be able to skip that last champion training, and this could be a pretty valuable way to spend some energy and level up your food champions if you got some to go. Another thing definitely to consider, there is a moderate possibility there could be a champion training tournament, I would say next week, most likely, for one of the Supremes. I think that's pretty likely. In fact, hang on one sec. Okay, right. So if I bring up the event calendar here, I wanted to get this up. So you can see you could probably potentially skip some of this champ training event if you've done the rest. You'd need, I think, 5 of these fragments. It's possible there's only going to be one set of 10 fragments though. But we'll see. This is something you might be able to skip. But I would say there's an okay-ish chance you could have like a champion chase tournament for maybe Supreme Galek or Supreme Kale next weekend. That is something that I could see happening. And then I could see next week, right, when this stuff is ended, I could see the weekend after that, they could do a big champion training, like 5-day, 7-day tournament or something in the downtime of the fusions for another one of the Supreme Champions. None of that is guaranteed. That's all speculation. But they've done similar stuff in the past. So you might want to hold on to your resources for that. It's up to you. The way I look at it, what do I think of this Path of the Clover? This to me actually seems like a pretty fun event. It seems pretty good, I think. There's good rewards. So yeah, if you've got the energy to spend and the time to spend and you're able to do some champion training, this to me seems like it's giving you pretty good bang for your buck when it comes to champion training. Legendary skill tomes up for grabs and Eternal Soulstone. It's pretty good, like a unique portrait. Lots of Titan points if you care about the Titan point event. I think this is a pretty good event. And it's up to you. It's very well laid out. You've got lots of choice in where to go. So yeah, you can make that decision. Like I said, if you have the resources, I think it's pretty good. But just bear in mind that there are potentially lots of resource drains coming out during the fusion and upcoming events that you might want to save for instead. This to me, I'm going for it because, hey, it's a pretty surefire thing. I can see exactly what I'm going to get. I can see my progress. It's actually pretty quick. I've got plenty of gems, so I can just grind it out. It's pretty quick. These are good rewards. So yeah, I'm going for it. Let me know what you're going to do. Let me know what path you are going to take. I've shown you my path. I'm going to come down, grab this. Then I'm going to grab the other anniversary points, the Titan points. And then I'm going to work towards the legendary skill tomes, grab the Chaos Ore if I can. Maybe grab the Void Shard at the end. Well, I might just save resources at that point, honestly. 7k for one Void Shard. Yeah, we'll see. But that's my plan. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good St. Patrick's Day. Once again, it's the 3rd video I've recorded today. I might put this out before the shard pulls, though. But I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.